Racing to the Breeders' Cup, beautiful Belmont Park, and they'll be mowing the lawn on the turf in the Jockey Club Oaks Invitational. This one's for the ladies, and it's an 8-horse field. We've already previewed the Jockey Club Invitational for the boys, and similar to that race, we have an 8-horse field. That's a 9-horse field. This time we have 3 horses coming in from Europe, and I think the Europeans could possibly dominate on the filly side. Let's start at the rail. 1 mile and 3/8 is the distance, and Edisa ships in. The Kitten's Joy daughter is in good form, 6 lifetime starts, 2 wins, 2 seconds. She drops a little bit of weight from her most recent races, and she gets Flavien Prat. And the last time in France, she went 1.25 miles on some real soft going. And she's faced soft going in 6 of her races. And I think if she gets a fast turf course, the Kitten's Joys, they can run on soft course. They can run in some of the European style horses. They can still finish. But I think this is the type of horse that might just need a firm going and a little bit of cover, and she could really improve. So I definitely think Edisa is one of the top contenders. She's been bet down in some of her races. I think a little bit more of a pace will actually help her. And so Edisa is probably one of my top 2 selections in the race. Romantic Pursuit moves up in class after running for a $25,000 optional claiming the last time. Took her a while to break her maiden, 6 starts. She's ran 7 times. And the daughter of Medaglia d'Oro should definitely like the turf. I have a feeling she's going to run some of her better races on the lawn. What I like about her in this spot is she may be one of the few horses with true pace pressing and early speed capabilities. And Luis Saez, who has a thread of blue in the boys race, may try to take this filly to the lead, Romantic Pursuit, and try to go wire to wire. That's probably her best chance of winning. Meanwhile, Lady Prancelot has been bet down the last couple of times. Those were on the West Coast. Now she shifts east. And normally the East Coast horses are definitely better on the turf. But this year, I'm not sure there's that much of an edge in Lady Prancelot. With Smokin' Joe Talamo in the saddle, he's going to try to close late. And if there is any kind of pace, the best chance for Lady Prancelot to win is just to like the distance and to like the pace up front so he can run into that hot pace. Desert Ride with Neil Howard. This horse ran at Woodbine the last time, has faced some stakes races, and now faces open company going a longer distance. I think Desert Ride has a good shot in this spot. The daughter of Candy Ride has 4 wins in 6 lifetime races. Some of those are some game neck victories, so she seems to like to mix it up there with company. And I like the fact that she's faced some big fields. This time she only has to deal with 7 other contenders. Desert Ride, another contender. Love So Deep, another of the European shippers, gets the Lasix. The Bug Juice should help her out. She definitely moves a little bit weaker company. She's been facing some long distance races. She ran 1 mile and 7/16, 1 mile and 9/16, 1.5 miles. She should appreciate the cutback. She's a daughter of Deep Impact. They like to run long. She can run all day. Just not sure she has the speed to kind of pick up the pace. Another one with Jamie Spencer. We talked about him in the boys video in the Jockey Club Invitational. But he has some, seems to have a peculiar habit of getting into some pace scenarios and trip trouble and things like that over in the U.S. So you definitely want to take a look. The price should be right on Love So Deep in the Oaks Invitational. Wonderment, this one is my top selection. Lasix, drops in weight and drops in class. Ran in a couple of grade 1s over in France. I think she's well meant in this spot. Keeps her jockey on there, and I think all she's going to need is some good pace front running on a couple of these horses to get that pace, to be able to get some cover and try to make a run at the end. I think she can outkick a couple of these other contenders. So I think Love So Deep is going to come a little bit too late. I think Lady Prancelot also is going to be closing late, but my top selection is Wonderment in this spot. Dynapasser, a son of Lemon Drop Kid out of a Dynaformer mare. This is top-notch distance breeding. She ran in the Belmont Oaks, was 44-1 that day. Didn't run too bad, was 5th in that race, and then 3rd the last time out, but losing to another contender in this race. Dynapasser, still some room for improvement, but she is 1 for 7, and I'm just not sure what type of class level she fits. Rounding out the field is Art of Almost. The daughter of Dan Seeley should like the distance. Ran at Woodbine in a couple of those stakes races. Another one that kind of kicked away late in a couple of her big victories on the lawn. She's really going to appreciate the distance. I think she's going to be bet down in this spot, probably about 5-2 or 3-1, as I think some of the money could go to Art of Almost in this spot. It's going to be interesting to see how the Europeans are bet. I think Love So Deep is going to get a lot of play. I think Lady Prancelot with that closing style will probably be about 6-1. My top selection is Wonderment. I also think you could make a case for Edisa on the rail. Those are my top 2 selections in the Jockey Club Oaks Invitational. Don't forget, we have a preview of the boys on the lawn as some nice turf races at Belmont Park this Saturday. And remember, hit subscribe, ring that bell for notifications as we lead you up to the Breeders' Cup this fall. Should be some interesting turf races on the lawn at Belmont Park. My top selection on the Oaks Invitational is Wonderment, but Edisa also my second choice, as on the turf you usually get a little bit more, odds get a little bit spread around, and some of the contenders get bet a little bit differently than when they are on the dirt. A lot of that computer money doesn't seem to show up on some of these turf races. So good luck. Oaks Invitational, final leg of the New York Turf Triple Tiara. And don't forget to watch the Invitational for the boys preview that is also up on the lawn from beautiful Belmont Park.